Hello guys, welcome back to another channel. Back to another channel. Really. Welcome back to my channel. And today's video will be on the topic of Shaman King. The long anticipated one that I've wanted to do for until the end of the year. So I want to get this out of the way, and this might be my last video of the year. I will have to wait and see. But yes, we are going to talk about Shaman King and talking about one specific character named Hao Asakura or Hao Asakura. So Hao Asakura is pretty much the main antagonist of Shaman King. And yes, people, there will be spoilers in this video. So if you have not watched or read Shaman King, I suggest you click off now. I don't even know why you're even here in the first place, okay? Just go watch or read it. It doesn't really matter, all right? So with that being said, let's continue on with the video. So to get things out of the way and make things quick, I would like to go over what oversouls are, the entire power system itself within the series. First things first, we're going to just break down the power system as quickly as possible because I do not want to make this a very long video, and they could be all separate videos of themselves, or you could check out other people's videos on how the power system works. So for starters, let's start off with Furoku. Furoku is basically spiritual pressure, or you could say spiritual energy. It works the same way, I guess you could say it works the same way as Bleach. But spiritual power is basically the power of a shaman, right? The main thing, the mana of a shaman, you could say. So for Roku, being spiritual power is self-explanatory. So let's move on from there. Now there's also the things called like spirit allies, where spirit allies is basically, well, an ally of a shaman. You can even see them as probably stands in a way, but I wouldn't fret on that. Okay, I wouldn't not. For a fun fact for shamans is that shamans exist both planes of existence, basically the metaphysical world and the physical world. So you can take that with a grain of salt, if you will. Anyway, moving on from that. So oversouls, we're going to move on to oversouls. Oversouls are basically metaphysical constructs of like spirits that is contained within a medium. So basically mediums are anything you want to be. You can choose anything of choice for a medium, but it will not be extremely strong or exponentially as strong if they not compatible to that medium. So for instance, like if you say like Yo's samurai is soul, or Midamaru spirit does not work with like shoes as a medium, or any type of object except a sword. You cannot bring out its fullest potential if it's not the same medium. Now with that being said, we have, the three things, right? You know all three things of pretty much the main power system. I mean, there's also the fact that oversouls, or you could say that like metaphysics manipulation with oversouls is you can shape them to anything you want to your whim. It depends on straight up willpower and the full Roku of the shaman. Now, with that interesting thing said, let's go over Hao's abilities are completely outclassing the entire shaman verse, and the reason why is because this man has a Furoku over 1 million. Yes, his Furoku is over 1 fucking million, and no one is nowhere close to that level. Now the fun fact about this is, for oversouls, right? Oversouls needs the power of the Furoku of the shaman. It literally powers the oversoul itself. Now, with that being said, let's go over the rule of oversoul. Basically, an oversoul needs Foroku to maintain, right? So if you dish out a huge amount of Oroku into an oversoul, just know that the shaman would not get tired. They would not get tired or would not run out of energy unless you break that oversoul. Once you break that oversoul, a lot of Oroku is spilling out of that shaman and they lose a huge amount of it. It depends how much they are using within that oversoul. Now, with that being said, the oversoul itself can only be shattered by another oversoul, but it also can be shattered by another physical, I guess, a metaphysical construct as well, on the same level as that oversoul, or if you have like more mana over that person's oversoul. Now, with that being said, moving on, Hao, with his Foroku having over 1 million, he could pour out a huge amount of I'm telling you, a large amount, being like 1 million. If you put out like 1 million into his oversoul, yeah, good luck trying to break that, because you need a spiritual power over 1 million to even break his oversoul. And not even that, but the fact that you can't interact with the oversoul, which is the general rule of how it works, because you cannot interact with a metaphysical construct because it's like not physical, it's metaphysical. No physical attacks does not work against it, making the oversoul completely invincible. Yes, you heard that right. The oversoul is completely invincible if you cannot break the oversoul. Okay, that's literally the general rule. Now, pretty much Hao has like an array of abilities on his own, I guess you can say. But for his oversoul is known as the Spirit of Fire. The Spirit of Fire is one of the great elemental spirits that is born from the Great Spirit directly itself. It is literally the essence of fire, meaning it is the very concept of fire itself, the supreme essence of fire itself, in fact. Meaning is that it's literal a concept of nature itself. So basically, his oversoul or spirit ally is literally an embodiment of a concept. Like, it's like a concept embodiment of fire. So yes, you can do whatever you will with that one. But that's not the only thing Hao can do. He can also not only control this massive being, but he can also change the element of this oversoul into any element he wants within nature, with all creation. Because due to the yin yang technique, he can pretty much manipulate yin and yang to make the opposite, the polarity of everything. So like, I guess you could say, well, the opposite of fire is water. So he can actually turn the spirit of fire into the spirit of water, or the spirit of wood into the spirit of metal. He can do this on the whim because he has complete control over the 5 elements with the yin yang technique. And when it's stated that you have all the the mastery of all 5 elements, you can literally control all things to flow within creation and manipulate any energy at will. So yes, not only has energy manipulation, all in pretty much soul manipulation, he also has mind reading, because he was born to read minds, which he cannot turn off. It's quite annoying to him. But he can also read minds. He can manipulate fire to himself if he wishes. And I think that's pretty much it. Oh yes, he pretty much has the curse technique, which can reflect curses, or like I guess like I think it's, I'm not as sure it's reflected only curses, but I think that's just the name fallacy. But he can pretty much reflect any spiritual attacks. I don't know. I have to reread that part because it happened once, and you can't really do anything towards him if you try to curse him or something like that. So yes, he has that. He also the Fokumuruko, which is what Yo has, and it pretty much is this Foruku nullification. Foruku nullification basically is that, well, like it says, it's nullifying Foruku. So it not only nullifies any spiritual like power or energy, but it even completely neutralizes your life force as well with one attack. All of it at once. It doesn't matter how strong you are. It literally does not matter. You'll get completely killed, one shot killed by this ability. Do not get hit by it. Okay, you shouldn't get hit by it. And not only that, but it's also passive, so you don't even need to use a hand gesture or a weapon or anything. It literally just happens around them. So yeah. Now, with the spirit of fire being the pure essence of fire itself, it also has the ability to grow even more powerful by eating more souls, and the fact that he can also resurrect people he killed from the dead with the spirit of fire. So yes. Hao is extremely powerful. I totally agree. Yeah, he's extremely fucking powerful. Now, there's also one thing you should know about this great spirit of fire. Now, the great spirit of the 5 elements is themselves is stated to be comparable to the Big Bang. So we're going to get into scaling, and from here on out, it's going to be getting crazy. So since it's stated that it's comparable to the Big Bang, it's like, I guess you say all the 5 elemental spirits have the power comparable to a Big Bang or the Big Bang itself, meaning that there are universal already. Now, just by them alone, already. Now, there's also another fact, is that it's stated about how oversouls evolve and what they do. Now, if you have more mana, as stated in the manga, the more mana you have, the more powerful your oversoul. That means your ghost or your spirit ally will materialize on a higher plane than before and result to an evolve. Like you can involve your oversoul, or like I said, you will involve your oversoul. Now, this is the same case for Yo, because he actually had more mana. The more mana he has, the more powerful his oversoul, and he pretty much has his Aminomaru literally materialized on a higher plane of existence. Literally stated on a higher plane of existence. So, with that being said, there's also the rule that an oversoul is capable of infinite progress if the shaman has the will to work for it. Meaning that an oversoul has pretty much infinite potential, or like an infinite like development to get even more to a higher plane of existence. So with that, it's already impressive itself, because Hao literally has the strongest spirit ally in the verse. Like, I'm not kidding, he has the strongest ally in the verse before the final arc. Now, yes, Hao can make his stuff even more stronger, but his spirit ally doesn't really need to evolve if he has 1 million Furoku. 1 million Furoku. That is insane. How this man has 1 million for Roku. If he would have gotten even stronger than that, Jesus, he was just evolving more higher than ever. And he is way more powerful. Yes, way more powerful than a yo who has achieved a higher plane of existence. Meaning that the Great Spirit of Fire is pretty much infinitely higher in terms of power. Than yo. Meaning that this, like I said, the Great Spirit of Fire is literally fourth dimensional, if not higher, right? Because the Spirit of Fire cannot be defeated by anyone, and it never has been defeated by anyone. So when Yo evolved his swords or his spirit even further, you could say Yo, for instance, he materialized on a 4D plane and a 5D plane because it evolved higher, and then you could argue 6D with the armor type because he evolved even more than that. You can marvel 6D, and guess what? The Great Spirit of Fire is still above that. It's far above that. Still, he's still above that. So you can argue 6, 7, maybe 8D, like Great Spirit of Fire. And the fact that would be like around like multiversal plus already, like multiversal plus base form. Like, come on now, base form, yeah, base form, Spirit of Fire. Like, you can get him to any higher, maybe like I guess high wall it's like AD because he's still like infinitely higher than Yo. And a rest of the people's souls also evolve itself into higher planes of existence. So yes, Hyo's still stronger than them. Now things got even crazier, okay? Because Yo, when he actually tried to face Hao, when he tried to become the Shaman King, yeah, it didn't work. They automatically die. The spirits are completely fodder to them and to the great shaman. It doesn't really matter. Now, the great Shaman King, or you could say the Great Spirit itself, yeah, the Great Spirit, it literally has, like, I guess, like, worlds, or, like, trillions of worlds within it, right? Now, if it has, like, trillions of worlds within it, right? Trillions of worlds, and then, like, trillions of timelines as well, since they have their own space-time within the Great Spirit, that means every soul has their own commies. Those commies are basically the spirit's own personal hell or their own personal plane of existence. Yeah, that's basically their own personal plane of existence. There are higher ones and there are lower ones. So all these plane of existence has their own space-time within them. There's millions and trillions of them, of these worlds. They have their own space-time within them. Own plane of existence, higher and lower. Higher plane of existences, there consists like trillions upon them. And when Hao became the Shaman King, he achieved the highest, the peakest of the plane of existence. Now, if we're trying to find out what that means or where that even scales them, let's think of this. If Hao says he'll achieve everything, and I mean absolutely everything, the planets, life forms, technology, reason itself, or nature and logic itself, he will transcend all of this. All of it. He transcends everything. Right? It will transcend everything. Like on the metaphysical level, he will transcend everything. Conceptually transcends the 5 elemental spirits, which are basically like living concepts. So yes, the logic in nature itself, that's already crazy, because like that means he transcends the laws of nature itself. Now let me explain to you why that in itself is impressive. Now basically, the laws of nature, right? The laws of nature, I want to explain it. Now if you transcend the laws of nature and you're like outside of them, right? That means you would transcend the laws of polarity, right? Because the laws of nature will consist of, well, there's like several natural laws of nature, which everyone and everything is governed by. So the laws are like attraction, polarity, rhythm, relativity, Jesus, cause and effect, gender, and like I cause and effect, gender, perpetual transmutation of energy, all this and that are like the fundamentals of the laws of nature, correct? Now if you transcend the laws of polarity, this will actually grant him a type 3 transduality. And transcending the laws of nature will also mean transcending all laws related to nature, including space and time. Yes, including space and time, meaning that Hao can get to literally outer to high outer versal tiering because of this. Okay, just because of this, and the fact that he has like type 3 transduality, it kind of makes more sense. So he transcends nature and logic, right? It's all over it, and especially reason itself is like, yeah. And the fact that like all the great spirit consists of like higher and lower planes of existences, which trillions upon trillions of, it makes more sense that way. Now that out of the way, you can get him even higher. Okay, you could get him higher, but we're not gonna go down that road unless y'all want me to. I could just go over it real quick. The fact that like Yo and the rest of the characters, they have achieved the 5 elemental spirits to be on the same highest, peakest plane of existence where Hao is, even though it should be impossible since Yo was trying to manifest a Minamaru on the plane of existence, but it didn't work because Hao didn't allow it. So the 5 great elemental spirits are literally on that level because they are a part of it. Now it was able to counter all of all of Hao's attacks within his own plane of existence or higher dimension, right? But inevitably they could not defeat him, so they're not even like comparable to him, in fact. So yeah, is that not even comparable to him? So yeah, there's no really place the people that can beat him, since he's literally, I guess you could say, quote unquote, omnipotent. So yeah, you can get Hao to outer to high outer. Now there's the lowest ball should be like uni plus to multiversal due to how the comedies work within this verse. But yeah, you can get him basically on that level. There's no fucking way you could be Hao, unless you like boundless or something, or extraversal. You can definitely get him that way. So yeah, that will be it for guys. That's actually pretty it. For speed, he pretty much omnipresent. Because he exists within every soul within creation, so like he can appear wherever he wants. So speed is pretty much irrelevant to him, because he's omnipresent. So yeah, that will be pretty much it for How yeah, that's pretty much it. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I love you guys, okay, and I'm sorry I have not been uploading consistently. If you want to know more about this verse, let me know. My description to my Discord will be linked below or in the comment section. Please join, okay? I know there's a lot of you that had subscribed, and not a lot of you has joined my server. Go join my server, okay? Jesus Christ. Now next I will cover we'll be covering over Yo and where he should be scaling at. And I will see you guys in the next video. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you. Peace.